obviously this is something that matters a lot to me. And really the best way to help you guys stay secure is just to show you what's out there so that you can better spot it next time. But just being so visible as a real estate agent, your numbers out there, your email addresses out there, all of your listings are out there. I mean, just think about how easy it is to look at your agent profile and see your listing at 123 Main Street and send you an email that says, here's my pre-approval letter, I want to see this house, or here's an offer for this property. And that all would seem real and legit, and it's so easy for somebody to trap you in that. So just going to show you some different things that we have seen. Everything I'm showing you today is something that one of our agents has experienced. And if you got any questions, just ask. One thing I did want to show you all, this came in today. Look at that time, 1:35 p.m. That we just received this one. And, you know, it says First American Title. That's, if you're new to the business, that is one of the most used title programs. I mean, that's what Heights Title is backed by. This looks legit. Notice how it says for loan, and then it's got some numbers, so you really can't tell if that would be real or not. But if you look at this from address, you can see it's insurance at floorinsurance.com, right? So what this person has done is they've hacked a legitimate email from somebody's actual agency. Looks like this is an insurance agency, copied what a First American Title CD would look like. And I would bet that this attachment here contains some kind of malware or spyware. So they would be watching everything on your computer in hopes, I mean, the end goal is always financial or disruption. You look at me. Hey, Bo. You want to come say hey?
Is it out?
Well, no, she's in your office.
Oh, bye.
Sorry. Sorry, we were doing the shuffle over here.
Who do I need to say hi to?
We got Thad and Kathy Pryor, Bear and Rosa.
Everybody looks sober.
So far, we
Types
haven't
of
gotten too
email
far.
threats.
Yeah.
Well, they're real. We'll do a test email and see if you click on it.
I feel like Bo. We
So
feel like Bo's
here are the
meme.
only people that care
He's
about
everywhere.
cybersecurity in the entire company. Thank y'all.
All right, so the three different like main kinds of threats you're gonna see. The first is gonna be like tech support, your email's been interrupted or you need to update your password, something like that. Second one is impersonation attempt. So just like what we were seeing before, where it looks familiar, it sounds familiar, it seems like something you would need for your business. And then that last one there is that malicious attachment. So you can see easily how you could get all three. But the most important part of this slide here is 1 minute and 40 seconds. That is how long it takes for them to have access to everything in your email, everything on your computer in 1 minute and 40 seconds from the time that you click the link or download the file. So by the time you've let me know, hey, I accidentally did something, they could have everything. So that's kind of why I kind of focus so much on preventative knowledge and being able to spot it and stay away from them. So like I was saying, the most common threats, password reset, emails, voicemail, or saying you have a fax, fake CDs like the one that we were looking at before. And if you're new, a CD is a closing disclosure. It is the last piece that you get before your client is going to close on their transaction. And you typically want to review that, make sure all the money looks right so that you don't have an issue at the closing table. So that's a easy way for them to get your attention, because we're always looking at those and we're always looking at offers that we receive. And then common services like Microsoft, Dropbox, DocuSign, they kind of copy the way those emails look and send you an email, again, trying to get you to click something, open something. So over here on the side, this is an example of one of those emails that you see. I mean, it says Office 365, the color scheme is right. They've got an email address. It says Arc Realty Co. IT. You're never going to receive anything like this from us. So your passwords don't expire. We're not adding any new requirements. So, you know, if you ever get anything that's weird, send it to me. Send me a screenshot. This is a screenshot that I was sent, and I was able to immediately say, hey, that's not real. And then sometimes we can even pull it back out of inboxes so other people don't see what you're getting. This is another one that went around at the beginning of December. It looks real. Stewart Title. It's got a, you know, here's an encrypted message, which a lot of those companies use now as a way to stay safe. But again, everything can be impersonated. So this looks real, but it's not. And this is another thing that we've seen. I mean, you know, people take advantage of the times. I was away. I think they meant to say I was away from my computer because of coronavirus. Please see the attached property descriptions, picture albums, and approval letter from my lender. That is a malicious attachment. What is on there? Always be wary of somebody who wants to send you an attachment of the details of a transaction versus just picking up the phone and talking to you. And this one's from Bo. You notice his comment up the top, smells like fish. Again, it looks like Microsoft, right? But you won't receive things like that. Just know that anything that has to do with your security and your accounts, it's going to come from me. It's going to come from John. It's going to come from Bo, from Thad. It's going to come from people you know. And if there's ever an issue with your account, I am not going to contact you about your email by email. I'm going to reach out to you by phone or text because I want you to respond in a different way to know that our communication is secure. This looks just like an email you'd get from Dropbox, but just think about it. If you aren't expecting anything to be coming into your Dropbox, if you're not expecting an offer to be sent on a property you have listed, there's no reason to answer it. I have never received an offer for a property I've had listed where the listing agent didn't either call and text me and say, hey, an offer is on the way, especially in this market. That just doesn't happen. People want to call, they want to tell you about their clients. They kind of want to plead their case, especially in this hot market. So one thing to know here, just opening an email does not compromise your account. If you just open something and you realize, oh wait, this isn't real, it is not going to mess up your account. But when you click the link, that's when you become vulnerable. When you enter your password on a website, even if that website looks just like the website you normally log into, that's going to compromise your account. And then every single attachment, a PDF, an image, anything like that, that is a way in. So, you know, what can you do about it? Always look at the sender, not just, so looking at this from line up here where it says Arc Realty Co. IT update, if you look again next to it at the actual email address, you can see that that is not in any way affiliated with Arc. When in doubt, send it to me. Respond offline, call the sender, call somebody. If somebody sends you an offer on a property, pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, did you just send this to me? Respond offline, always. And another favorite way of mine is just do nothing. If it's important, it's going to come back up. And then never type your email password in after you've clicked something within an email, even if it looks just like the normal login screen. Go to the login screen that you know, log in there, and then work your way back. Again, you know, just want to show you all as many examples as I can. So this one was to Kathy Grimes, like withheld messages, and you can see that the name of the account says support, and then they've typed in no reply at Arc Realty Co. as another way to try and make it look like it came from us. This is one that we see all the time, a new fax document, and you can even see in that tiny little picture there, that looks just like a document that we would use, right? Don't fall for that one either. Just be aware that all of these are ways that they're trying to get in. And I don't think this is going anywhere. I think people will continue to try and get into your accounts as long as email is structured the way it is. So you just kind of have to keep your head on a swivel with these things. Again, the most popular one we see is something about a password reset. And people ask me all the time, well, what happens when I click the link? Most likely it goes to a site that looks just like our login screen. And it's going to ask you, to type your password in. It's going to say, do you want to keep your current password? And you're going to say yes. And it says all good. And you have no idea that something's gone on in the background behind that to compromise it. That's probably one of the scariest things about this, is that the way that they take access to your account, they try not to draw attention to what's been done. Yeah, this is just another example of that one. We've prevented the delivery of email. And I have all these because people send them to me and they say, hey, is this legit? And I respond as quickly as I can, a yes or a no. And sometimes they are. Sometimes it's perfectly fine. So send them to me. All right, so just a second. I want you to think about a few passwords of yours. And you can write these down or you can just think about it in your head, but 3 big passwords. What is your password to your bank account, your password to your Facebook account, and your password to your email account? So if you can't remember any one of those, I would highly suggest a password manager. And I use one. I currently use LastPass, which I've named here. I have it on my computer. I have it on my phone. It stores my password for everything. And it will also suggest like secure passwords as well. But most importantly, if any of those 3 passwords are the same, you need to change them. You should have a master password for those 3 things: your email, your bank, your social media, and they should all be different. They should be complex, and don't repeat them or make a variation of them for any other account. Another thing that we don't think of that is technically a password is your PIN number to your bank account. When is the last time that changed? I had not thought about that. I don't think I've changed my PIN since I was 16. That's 4 digits. Think about how long it takes for somebody to hack a numeric 4-digit code. That is waiting to happen. And I think I learned at a young age, your debit and your bank account are always more vulnerable than your credit card account. So online purchases, if you can, by credit card are always the way to go. So just kind of understanding how bots work, they crawl the page, meaning they are just looking for data on a page. So our agent directory, they're just looking for email addresses and phone numbers. They take those email addresses and they put your email address into a password cracker. And what those crackers do is they basically try multiple variations of different codes trying to find your password. And even the most secure password can be hacked eventually. Just kind of looking at these, but there's a huge difference when you go from 8 characters to 12. Look at if you have a 12-character alphanumeric password, it takes 96 years for you to hack that, versus just an 8-character password takes 2 hours. And if you start using a symbol in that, which is where you see those +10s, that can take 500 years. So now you're looking at like absolutely impossible to crack. But eventually they can come to it. So even if you have the most secure password that you set 3 years ago, they could potentially get into your account. So when they get into that account, what I've seen that a lot of these people do is they forward all your email that's incoming to a different email address. They move all incoming email and sent mail to a deleted folder so you don't see it. So if one of your friends responds and says, hey, is this legit, or why are you sending this to me? You don't see that. They search your account. They look for bank account numbers, wire instructions. They use the key term password to try and find passwords within that account that you might have emailed. So if you've ever sent me maybe your GoDaddy login or your login to Showing Time, make sure you go back and delete those later because they're just lingering in your account. I delete them. I don't keep them. And you know, if you've got anybody's bank info or maybe you've sent somebody your credit card information for a purchase, delete that after it's sent. You don't want that hanging out there. And then it's going to start sending scams. So if you think back to that very first slide we were looking at that Robert sent me earlier today, that was somebody's actual email address, right? That wasn't created for the purpose of hacking. Their account's been hacked, and now somebody's in that account sending that email out, trying to get people to click that link because that email address that they're using looks legitimate, right? Like people communicate with it. It's not flagged for spam. Something we do when that happens is I've got it set up so that if you start sending mass emails, our email system actually holds those emails in until I say this is okay. So maybe you're doing a big mail out to a bunch of clients. I can then go say it's fine to push that out. Or this doesn't look right, hold everything. And then the last thing that they do with that information is they start like checking that username, so your email address, with the password that they now have on other sites, Facebook, banks, Gmail, to see if they can get into any other accounts of yours. So now that I've scared you, what can you do? Number one thing in my suggestion is to do a two-step verification process, especially if you use Google or social media. That means that once you go to log in, it's going to send you an alert on your phone with a code, and then you have to type that code in to say it's okay to get into the account. That is one of the absolute best and easiest things you can do to keep your account secure. Second, don't repeat your passwords. Make everything unique, especially those big three that I was talking about, your bank, your Facebook, and your email. Don't repeat any variation of those. And something that all the staff has started doing is adding this footer right here that you're seeing to our email signatures. It just talks about wire fraud and impersonation attempts. One, seeing that on every email, when people get an email from me, if my signature's missing, now it starts to look weird. You know, they're expecting to see that kind of content on an email from me, but it also reminds them every single time you email them that we're not going to ask them to send payment. We're not going to request a wire. Respond offline if you get anything fishy. So if you need any help, I am happy to send that footer to everybody on this, and it's fairly easy to set that up in Outlook. I set up signatures by just drafting a new email, and then there's a signature button there where you can apply that. So one of the newest things, and I'm sure Thad, you've dealt with this, are these text scams. And, you know, I had a chance to talk to some other people in other brokerages. They're dealing with the exact same thing. You get a text message and it says that it's me, it's Thad, it's Deanna. And they're asking, you know, hey, I'm in a meeting right now, I can't talk. So forcing the message onto text. And they are trying to get you to buy them gift cards. That's the end goal. They want you to buy gift cards, scratch the back off of it, and send them the codes, which right now when we're talking about it, that's a red flag. But in the moment, they really try to push you into that direction. And they've been successful, not with our agents as far as I know, but I do know other people that have fallen for this. Easiest thing you can do, save our numbers. If you ever get a message like this, call us. You know, let us know. I do report all of these to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, and within a couple hours, usually that phone number is shut down. But it does, you know, take a little bit of time, and a lot can happen in a couple hours. I do suggest not responding, block the number, because if you do respond, it lets them know that that line is a good number for you. So it just kind of opens you up to potential other opportunities there. And then this is another one. Again, same thing. In a client meeting right now. Notice both of these have a full signature on a text message. That should always kind of be fishy to you. Most people don't have a signature line in a text message. And then this is a new one. I've seen this from USPS, Amazon, a couple other places. You know, your package didn't make it before Christmas. What a great line, because how many packages didn't make it before Christmas, right? If you click the link there, that's some kind of malicious attack, whether they're trying to get my account information, they're just trying to spy on my phone, watch everything I'm doing. Whatever it is, you don't want any part of it. So just ignore these kind of things as much as you can. So what are we doing to help you out, right? The first thing we do is we are hiding your phone number and email address on the website, just making it a little bit more difficult for these bots to get to your information. You have to click a button to view a phone number or to look at an email address. Just one tiny thing that we can do to try and get some of these calls off of you. The next big three, Microsoft Defender is what we use for our email security. It catches 99% of scams. So just think we have a lot that come through. That's just 1% of everything that's out there. The next two are things that we've recently added, safe links and safe attachments, where it's actually scanning a link and replacing the link in the email with a safer link, so that if for some reason you click something that they know already is bad, it's going to prevent you from actually going to that site. The safe attachments, it kind of scans that attachment to make sure that there's nothing too dangerous in it, and then it releases it to your account. With all of that in place, things still get through. That, you know, it is not 100%. So you really have to kind of keep your head on a swivel with these. But we do have a spam filter that is just constantly improving. Anybody that has a Microsoft Exchange account, we're all helping that spam filter get better and better. And we have the ability to pull back. So if you let us know that, like Robert today got that suspicious email, I can go in and pull that email out of all ARC accounts so that people aren't getting that scam message. And then if for some reason we had a major attack, we have had people that have fallen victim to wire fraud. Their clients have, wired money to a hacker, things like that. You've got to let us know as quickly as you can. We have a data protection company that's on retainer with us, and they can step in and really help us get that next level of support that you're going to need in those instances. Any questions so far? I know I'm really going through these. Okay, so this is really focusing on your computer, and I'm not going to read all this to you, but if you just kind of look through them, if your computer's compromised, if somebody is maybe doing something on your computer, spyware or something like that, here's some things that you'll notice. One, first off, obviously your antivirus software is going to know that there's an issue, but you might start seeing things moving slowly, the mouse moving on its own, like it just starts acting weird. That should always be a red flag. With technology the way it is, computers don't act weird anymore. So if you start to see weirdness, if things are moving, if all of a sudden you're out of space on your computer and you don't know why, something's going on, let us know. We can get your computer back to the way it should be. Same with a malware issue. Malware means that there's something in there that is meant to harm you, right? So you might see something weird going on with your internet there, changes to your homepage, your browser, a firewall alert, things like that. But the most important, the take-home message from all of this is just let us know. We can help, and we want to. It's okay. There are people that are super tech savvy that have said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I clicked this link. I was running into a meeting from another meeting. I just was moving too fast and I clicked it. And within a matter of minutes, they're back to being completely secured. So you just got to let us know when things happen. And then one thing that I know I'm bad about is keeping your computer and your phone up to date. I know that if you've got an older phone like I do, you might not want to get the newest upgrade because, you know, it starts eating your battery away a little bit faster than you want. But you should, because each one of those updates comes with a security patch that makes your phone, your computer a little bit stronger. Also, if you're running Windows 7, it's time to upgrade. They don't have support for that anymore. They're not issuing security patches. So it is time for you to move onto Windows 10 so that your information can be secured. Yeah, okay, so somebody just asked me for a recommendation of antivirus software. I use Avast, A-V-A-S-T. It is free. Most of y'all know I am on a Mac. Do not think that because you have an Apple computer that you are safe from viruses. That is not the case anymore. Malware can get anybody. So I use Avast. It basically runs in the background and it only lets me know if it comes across something. So I don't see it, I don't hear from it. It only is going to speak up if there's a problem. All right, on to social media. The most common thing we see on social media is an impersonation attempt, which is not a hack. I see all the time people say, hey, I got a friend request from you, but we're already friends. You've been hacked. It means your profile's been cloned. And what they're trying to do there is they're trying to get people that are not your best friends, but maybe people you know, acquaintances, and they're going to message them on Messenger and say, I can't believe I saw you in this video and there's a harmful link in it. Or, can you donate to my GoFundMe? Again, the end goal is just disruption and money. So what you need to do if that ever happens to you is just make a quick post. Hey, somebody's impersonating my account. Don't accept a friend request from me, and then report it to Facebook. If you are the person that's being cloned, if it's your profile, they're going to shut that thing down immediately. If it's a friend of yours, it can take a little bit longer. So it's always great to reach out to your friend and let them know that they need to report that. And then if you do any Facebook advertising, you really need to use a separate credit card for that is only for that purpose. Go in there and set a spending limit, whether it's $50, $100, set that limit in there and make sure you have two-step verification on your account. If you change your Facebook password today, set a reminder on your phone to change it this time next year. Because as people who have had issues with Facebook know, it is not just your friends list. I think I've had Facebook since I was 16 years old. I kind of grew up with it. My whole life is there, that you've got photos and memories in it. You've got certain people that the only way you stay in touch with them is on Facebook. You might not have their number anymore. It is so much more than just your social network. It is connected to your fitness apps. It is connected to your games you play on your phone. Everything is tied to Facebook. So it is imperative that you keep that account secure. There's no customer service number for Facebook. There's no way to reach out to them if you have an issue on Instagram. You're kind of on your own to sort that out. So that's kind of why I'm so adamant that you keep things secure. If you go in the top right corner of your Facebook account, there is an option that says privacy checkup. It is a really good idea to look into this, especially this blue icon here, how to keep your account secure. If you click that, it's going to come up and tell you about your password. Mine's just okay. It's not great. My two-factor authentication is on, and it's urging me to turn on login alerts, which would let me know on my phone anytime somebody logs into my account. My hope is that you never need any of this, but in case you do, I would recommend looking into your privacy settings on Facebook. And if you haven't, it normally tells you like you haven't changed your password in a year and a half. Change it, make it unique, not the same as anything else out there. And then, what would you do if you couldn't access your email address tomorrow? What would you do if you completely lost access? And I ask this because I do know somebody who their Gmail account, they got a ransom notice that said, send us $500 and we'll let you back in. And luckily, for this person, they didn't need that account. They were able to just let it go. That'll never happen with your ARC email address. That little bit of oversight we have there of being able to be the admin behind that account means that we can always get you back into your account. We can always recover from a loss. But if you're in a personal account, you could lose access forever if you don't have a two-step verification in place. That to me is why you should have it, just to keep it there, keep it secure. And then a couple just other last ideas that you might want to keep in mind. If you're on a public Wi-Fi network in an airport or a Starbucks, you might not want to make a purchase on those just because they are unsecured. There is, a certain degree of monitoring that is not too hard, that somebody could be watching what you're doing. If you must, again, credit card is the way to go for online purchases. If you're sitting in a Starbucks and you really need to make a purchase, one thing you can do is pick up your phone, turn the Wi-Fi off, make the purchase, turn the Wi-Fi back on. And then again, like I said earlier, the day you change your password, set a reminder on your phone to do it a year later. And the last one, I learned this from my grandmother, y'all. Be mindful of like surveys and quizzes on social media networks. Some of these are ways to try and get your security questions. This is one that I saw the other day. Your trail name is your first pet and the name of the street you grew up on. Both of those are things that are generally used in security questions. So just kind of think about the information that you're providing out there. I would have never thought of that, but sure enough, that she did a quiz like this, and I went, that's what we always use, for security things. I think every single one of us on this call can admit to ourselves that at some point we've had our pet's name in a password. So, just kind of thinking along those lines. And that's what I got for y'all today. Any questions? Any thoughts on that?
Can you hear me, Kate?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I really think that this presentation should also be done at onboarding.
Yeah.
Because I guess I take my post-license test tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of things discussed in the post-license that you were talking about a lot. And I think that that would be good for like part of onboarding possibly, is to see this presentation because it's just so important.
Do you think that would be something, would it be helpful, just kind of thinking back to where you were when you started this onboarding process, if that were something that were sent to you by me kind of early in that onboard process? Because I know that, you start your onboarding and it's just like you're hit with a million things. Or maybe when you set your ARC email up, you think that would be helpful?
Oh yes, probably like when you do your ARC email and stuff like that, and you're actually getting into, the technology that we use, like before I start posting stuff.
Gotcha.
Because, you learn a little bit about the Regulation Z and everything like that in the original course that you take.
Mm-hmm.
But this is stuff that, I need to know early, and it would have eliminated a lot of questions that I had to go to Janet about, or Janet say, hey, don't post that there, or something like that. So, but it's great information, and I think it'll definitely help me with my test tomorrow as well. So it was serendipitous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry too much about that test. Just between you and me and nobody else on this call.
Right. Just us. Okay. And if you could ever tell me why my AirPods don't work on my MacBook Air when I'm on Zoom, if you could figure that out, text it to me.
Okay, so I do see Aaron is holding up two fingers too.
I don't either.
If you are on Zoom and you click the settings, it's like a gear wheel, or if you just go up in your top corner and click Zoom and go to preferences, you will see your speaker output and your microphone output or input. And where it says speaker output, if your AirPods are on, you can change it there from your built-in output to AirPods. And that is how you get your AirPods working on Zoom.
I have a
Okay.
question.
Here, Glenn.
Okay, sorry my voice is like gone, but would you, so on Facebook, and this might be dumb, but for my friends, I have my phone number to where my friends can see my phone number. Would you suggest taking that off?
I think that's perfectly fine because your number is already out there. It is on our
Okay.
website. It's on the Greater Alabama website.
Yeah,
Out there.
I've just been getting like more than usual spam calls and like weird texts.
Yeah, I've gotten some weird ones recently that are like, do you want to publish a book? Or like, one of them was so silly. It was like, lose 30 pounds this week.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't, one of mine was like, I'm not even going to repeat, just like really gross. And I don't know if someone sent it to the wrong person, but I just like blocked them.
yeah, and that's the best thing to do. And, you know, not responding lets them know that that number is a live number and that they can
Yeah.
continue to contact it. So just block it and move on. Yeah.
For sure.
So is there some kind of scan we can do currently, Kate, to know like the standing of our personal emails or like the standing of our social media or any of that, so we can kind of know if there's, because my Capital One, I know they send me, since they're linked to a bunch of stuff, they'll let me know like someone from the dark web tried to get on your email.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just wanted to know, is there anything that I can do with that? And what was the program you said that is similar to like Apple Password that remembers your passwords for you?
Yeah, so it is called LastPass, as in the last password you'll need. I am obsessed with it. It works the exact same way. So if you've got an iPhone, and you know how sometimes it'll say like, do you want to autofill this password? It comes up right below that, so it integrates beautifully with the phone. If you use Google Chrome as your web browser, you can add an extension there. But one thing that I really like about that is it will, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it gives you a security score. So even somebody like me that is like very much about security, I think I have a 34. Like I have got a solid F on LastPass. And some of that is like, you know, like printers where the password is admin or something like that. You know, like it's not necessarily all that. But one thing that I do love about it is that it does tell you if one of your passwords is compromised. So I think it was last year that MyFitnessPal was compromised. And LastPass actually sent me an email and said, like, you need to change this password, but you also need to change your password on these 4 other sites where you used that same password and email combination. That is like a lifesaver, and that's totally free. They do have some kind of premium thing. I don't have that. I just have the basic free one, and it works. Anybody else got anything? Awesome, y'all. Well, I really do appreciate all of y'all jumping on. I know that email security is just not a super fun topic, but I really appreciate y'all hanging in there. And I do think that like just knowing these things makes you a better agent, makes you more secure. So kudos to all of you.
I hate that more people weren't on this. I feel like this is really good information that like everyone needs to be refreshed on.
You know, it's one of those things that it's difficult to know how bad it could be until you're in that situation. And also like the weather's kind of gross, so there's that too. But a lot of people do watch these afterwards, so even though I think there's like 12 of us on here today, we have a lot that watch it later. So
Hey, Kate.
yeah, hey.
Hey, can you tell me again how to hook your iPod Pros to this?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, no problem.
Zoom USA. How do you do it?
So the first thing you got to do is go to your Bluetooth, which is on your right-hand side of your computer. Are you on an Apple or on a PC?
I'm on an Apple.
Okay, good. So over there by where it says what time it is, you'll
Yes.
click the Bluetooth symbol,
Uh-huh.
and you'll click your AirPods to connect the AirPods to the computer.
Okay, I did that.
Okay, so then step 2 is to go in the left-hand side where it says zoom.us
Right,
and go to preferences.
okay.
And then the first menu item that's going to come up says audio. And
Yes.
down the sidebar. And so then where it
I'm
says,
so sorry, but could you repeat what you said right before preferences? Where to go within
oh
preference?
yeah, in the top left-hand corner of your screen where it says zoom.us, you'll click that and then click
Your whole screen, Bear, not just of your Zoom screen, your whole
Yes.
screen.
yes, up there by the Apple logo.
Yeah,
Up there by the Apple logo?
Mhm. Are you on an Apple computer?
I am.
Okay, so
I'm on Chrome.
like the very leftmost corner of your screen, it'll have the Apple icon, and then it'll say zoom.us, and then meeting, view, edit, window, help. If you have Zoom up.
Well, I don't want to waste your time with this, but for some reason, oh wait. Okay, Apple icon and then preferences, you say?
It will not, yeah. So you'll click zoom.us, which is next to the Apple icon, and then preferences.
Mm.
And then from there, you'll see your audio settings. And the first one says speaker. And there's like a drop down menu. The first option will say built-in output, which is internal speakers. And you can click that and you should see AirPods.
okay, that's where I'm messed up. It does, I don't see anything that says built-in, what you just said.
Built-in output.
Yeah, it just says speaker and it says test speaker, MacBook Pro speakers. It doesn't have any options.
Okay, where it has MacBook Pro speakers, can you click that?
Yes, and then down, oh, there it is. There it is. I see it now.
Yeah.
There you go. I can hear you. Okay. That worked. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
There. Any luck?
Every time you use this, do you have to hook that up that way?
You shouldn't, but it might take a couple times for Zoom to realize that that's your preference.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. All right.
All right, y'all. That's all I got. Bear, you figure it out?
I'm getting there. Right now, I'm just focused on the test, so I'll probably figure this out later. I think
Gotcha.
my brain is just fried.
Yeah.
Plus,
Thank
I'm
you.
getting a cold, but thank you so much.
All
Thank
righty.
you. That was great.
All right,
Yeah.
bye-bye.